Hello, my name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, April 22nd, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at sdroundtable.com. First up, Google has turned off completely the Google Toolbar feed. That means PageRank data. Google Toolbar PageRank data feed. That means that any PageRank data that might have been seen in IE6 for the Google Toolbar, you should no longer be able to access, as well as any of the tools that were scraping that data, any of the apps, any of the website tools that were actually showing you PageRank data 1 through 10 or 0 through 10 are no longer showing that. We reported last month that Google was turning it off, and now it seems as of last Friday afternoon, it has been completely turned off. Gary from Google said yesterday that the next Penguin update, which will be Penguin 4.0, which will be the real-time version, will probably be the last Penguin update that we see. Google, he said it over here, as you can see, it's likely there won't be a next one being a Penguin update after the Penguin 4.0. Why? That's because Penguin 4.0 is the real-time update. That means when Google, it's going to continuously update. As Google crawls and indexes the web, it's going to continue to update the actual algorithm, and the search and the sites will either be penalized by the Penguin algorithm or be released by it in real time as Google crawls. Similar to the Panda update, where Panda is a rolling update, this is more of a real-time crawl update when that comes out, and we'll find out hopefully soon because we've been waiting for it for a pretty long time. Google went ahead and launched Google Play Podcast this week, and with that, it seems like Google kind of, maybe, went ahead and sent out an email asking their marketing people to go ahead and link to them in a certain fashion, which is kind of against the Google Webmaster Guidelines. It's kind of saying against their Google link schemes. They specifically asked you to use anchor text that look like this. Listen to Google Play Music, discover, stream our podcast. Use that keyword-rich anchor text, which is almost exactly against Google's guidelines when it comes to link schemes. And Google typically, when it comes to them potentially breaking their guidelines, they always hold themselves to a higher level. I don't think they penalize themselves yet, but we'll see if they go ahead and do that in the future. Google's John Mueller said that even if you do recover from a Google manual action, that you still may be hit by an algorithm that is related to that manual action. So if you are hit by a paid link scheme manual action, maybe Penguin also knows that you're actually going ahead and abusing links, and you're hit by that as well. So you have to wait not only for the manual action, but often you also have to wait for the algorithm to actually update. Google launched their new smartphone user agent for Googlebot. It's no longer using the iPhone user agent. Now it's using the Android user agent. Google told us that this is happening. Gary confirmed it happened this week as they expected. They told us a month ago that would happen, and it actually did happen this week. So it shouldn't be a big deal for most of you, but definitely check to make sure Google can actually crawl your site using the Google Fetch as Google tool in the Google Search Console. Gary from Google also said, don't worry too much about Google PageSpeed. He said, don't panic about it. A lot of SEOs that I see say, oh, you're not going to rank well. Truth is, you'll do fine. If you have a 50 score, you'll do fine. You have a 90 score, I don't think you'll rank any better. But if you have like a 10 score, maybe Google will say, oh, this site is so bad, it's such a bad user experience that we're going to go ahead and demote it. And keep in mind, Google only looks at the desktop page speed, even for your mobile rankings. That being said, John Mueller pretty much said the same thing. Don't worry too much. He doesn't even know if they use it as a ranking signal anymore. That being said, when you do, this site itself is a 62 out of 100, which is pretty bad. But when I launched my new website for my company just a few weeks ago, we made sure it was pretty fast because, again, user engagement, conversion rates, and so forth are all related to how fast your page is, and you can actually increase your conversion rate drastically by speeding up your website. This is interesting. So Google's showing a featured snippet based on the content within a discuss or commenting section. So it's using user-generated content. Here's a featured snippet. This featured snippet over here is actually pulling, if you go to a comment section, and interesting enough, this is the only part of the comment that's shown. I have to actually click on See More, which expanded this, and that's the content it's using, the expandable part of the comments. Very interesting to see that. Who knows what was in the actual source code, but it's very interesting to see that. Google seems to have disabled a new hack to make your title tag stand out more in the Google search results, a UTF-8 hack, which kind of looks like this. This is just a test, which kind of like outlines the text. Google actually was indexing that well, but if you look at it now, it seems, at least on the iPad, that Google actually blinked that out, and you're no longer able to play with that. Google Maps is now showing local finder ads. So if you do a search in Google Maps, the listing on the left-hand side may actually show ads. Here's some examples: ad symbol, ad, and so forth. And then shortly after that, Google confirmed, they sent out an AdWords email to their AdWords advertisers saying now Google Maps is part of core search, meaning if you have any location extensions on your core search ads, automatically Google is going to go ahead and say these ads also show up in the Google Maps results, and thus you might be going ahead and showing more impressions and getting more clicks and so forth. But they basically told all the advertisers, now that Google Maps is part of core search, your ads are going to show across the Google Maps platform as well. On the AdWords side, Google also added a feature called Order IDs, which help people or Google better track conversions. So if somebody goes ahead and clicks on the thank you page after an order confirmation, like if they buy flowers and they click on the thank you page and refresh that thank you page over and over again, that might go ahead and confuse Google in terms of considering every single refresh as a conversion. With the Order IDs, it actually gives a unique identifier to the actual user, and it will make sure that they don't duplicate those conversions. Google also added a new keyword labels field to the AdWords report editor. The AdWords report editor is a very slick new way to, or not newish, but a very newish way to go ahead and build reports in AdWords. And they added a new feature which advertisers have been asking for a while, is a keyword label field, which is nice to have. Google News on their homepage on the mobile device now has AMP carousels. They used to just have it when you do a search in Google, and the news carousel used to show up in the main core Google search results in the mobile results. Now it's actually showing up on Google News, and hopefully will be expanded into new properties going forward. Google said sites that are actually compromised are more likely to fix their hacks or their malware or whatever it might be compromised with if they are registered with the Google Search Console. Google said that 75% of those who are registered with Google Search Console get a notification. They are 75% of them will actually fix it, whereas if you're not registered, there's a 53 to 43% chance that they'll fix it. So it's a much bigger drop-off if you are not registered with Google Search Console. And Google says because they're better able to notify those users. I think it's more about people who don't register, care less about their website, and they just let their websites dormant and they get hacked pretty faster, but who knows. Google's testing trending search results in their autocomplete. So here's the Google autocomplete. This means it's trending. Trending is different than Google Suggest because Google Suggest or autocomplete shows what people are more likely to search on. Trending shows what people are likely to search on in the past like 6 hours or so. So it's a big difference, pretty cool. I personally cannot replicate that. And Google Analytics launched a new iOS and Android app which goes with material design, but it's really, really cool. It has lots of new features. One of the cooler features is it actually lets you share results directly natively within the app too. It lets you customize the reports and save them to your dashboard very quickly. It has a brand new look and feel. It has new scoreboard visualizations. You could do comparisons and so forth. Here's some screenshots, but I definitely recommend you check out this blog post which I posted yesterday, April 21st. There's a video at the bottom that gives you like a 10-minute walkthrough from an engineer exactly how it works. Actually, this app is somewhat pretty better than the actual web version. In any event, the last thing is Google has a logo up this morning for Google Earth Day, but also they had a logo yesterday afternoon throughout the night for Prince, who passed away unexpectedly at the age of 57, and it was actually an animated Purple Rain logo, which is very, very special. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Again, today is Friday, April 22nd. Everyone have a great weekend. Those who are celebrating Passover, have a nice and healthy, happy Passover, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.